up. We're going to begin by singing some favorite songs, and let me introduce you to my good friend Benji Harlan, who's going to lead us in music tonight.
Go ahead and give us the track, please. How many of you like bluegrass music? All right. Well, if you watch Beverly Hillbillies, you'd hear Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs. And if you watch Andy Griffith, when Ernest T. Bass was chasing Charlene Darling, at the end, all of the Darling boys would be on the porch, and you'd have Mr. Darling look at the sheriff and say, "Sheriff, grab a note and hang on." So grab a note and hang on.
Have you been to Jesus for the cleansing heart? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you fully trusting in His grace this hour? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you washed in the blood, in the soul cleansing blood of the Lamb? Are your garments spotless? Are they white as snow? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you walking daily by the Savior's side? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Do you rest each moment in the crucified? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you washed in the blood, in the soul cleansing blood of the Lamb? Are your garments spotless? Are they white as snow? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? When the bridegroom cometh, will your robes be white? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Will your soul be ready for the mansion's bride? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you washed in the blood, in the soul cleansing blood of the Lamb? Are your garments spotless? Are they white as snow? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Lay aside the garments that are stained with sin, and be washed in the blood of the Lamb. There's a fountain flowing for the soul unclean, only washed in the blood of the Lamb. Are you washed in the blood, in the soul cleansing blood of the Lamb? Are your garments spotless? Are they white as snow? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you washed in the blood, in the soul cleansing blood of the Lamb? Are your garments spotless? Are they white as snow? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb?
Ah, you sounded great.
Congregation, have a seat, okay? I read an article in Christianity today that said two of the three most sung songs during the pandemic were, and the first one, you know, goes like this: when peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well the second one, great is thy faithfulness. Let's have the ladies on the first stanza. Ready?
Great is thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions, they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever wilt be. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me.
Let's have a big men's chorus. Fellas,
Summer and winter and springtime and harvest, sun, moon, and stars in their courses above, join with all nature in manifold witness to thy great faithfulness, mercy, and love.
Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Pardon for sin and a peace that endureth. Thine own dear presence to cheer and to guide. Strength for today and bright hope for tomorrow. Blessings all mine with 10,000 beside. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto
well, we're going to do one more before we let you have the main reason you're here. My friend, my best friend, for 50 years next year, meeting him as 18-year-olds in the cafeteria at Baylor University. Swan, you know I love you. Sick and bears, okay? All right. I know you will. In fact, you have before a couple of times. But we won't even go there, okay? When I was a student at Baylor, one of the great mentors in my life was listening to Kirk Kaiser play the piano. And if you don't know the name, you knew him from songs like Pass It On, even more popular these days, Oh, How He Loves You and Me. Though he didn't write it, he introduced to the world Sweet, Sweet Spirit. So, and he was just such a class act. He died about 1.5 years ago. Well, anyway, I want you to hear how Kurt did Oh, How He Loves You and Me. So here's the way it works. When I nod, you sing, okay? And the way he would do it is that the ladies would sing the first verse, the men would sing the second verse, and then those are different head nods, okay? And then the third head nod is everybody singing full voice. And it would go like this.
Let's pray together. Father, thank you for a wonderful night to celebrate our faith with these two guys, to celebrate a 50-year friendship spent helping each other serve you. Friends like that, it's like a golden thread that runs through our lives. Father, thank you for all these who've come tonight. May they leave blessed, maybe like having a great conversation with someone they really enjoy across the neighborhood fence. And Father, I pray for Dennis tonight, and I know when we talk to him, he doesn't have another Sunday free for, I believe, until sometime in late October. So I pray you would go with him as through all the twists and turns of his own life, he gets up at all these meetings to help people use laughter to break down barriers that we all have, and surely we all have a lot of them from last year, and to begin to see our faith and our hope in a lighthearted manner, but mixed thoroughly with the gospel. So I pray you'd bless our time together tonight, and we love you. Again, bless each one who came in Christ's name. Amen. Let me just say one word about Dennis. We met in 1987, in fact, on October 18th, 1987, when he came as pastor of Second Baptist Church. His wife, Laurie, was with him. His boys, Chad and Dusty, who are grown now, 39 and 36, were just little kids at that time. And now Dusty's married to Brittany. They have 2 grandchildren, AJ and Maxine. And you talk about something that gets at Dennis's heart, well, it's AJ and Maxine. He'll talk about Floyd Leon and Paulette Bernadine tonight. I had the privilege, since we've known each other for a long time, not quite as long as Benji, I did get to meet them, amazing people, full of wisdom, and certainly provided a home where Dennis could grow in his faith and explore a lot of ways to use his talents. Dennis graduated from Southwestern Seminary after going to Baylor. He's got master's degrees and doctorates, was a pastor for 22 years, including his time at Second Baptist. And a personal thing, sorry. That was tough, 22 years. And 26 years since his last pastorate. So he's been making a habit of living in airports and hotels all this time to bring joy and peace and hope to a lot of people. The one personal thing, if you were here this morning, you heard it, and I'm sorry to rehash it, but during Jessica's first 7 or 8 years, it was just kind of in and out of the hospital, surgeries, life and death on a regular basis. And when Dennis came, she was in a really good period. And she said, I would like to go talk to Brother Dennis. So we did. And Dennis heard her heart, heard her questions, touched her heart. She gave her heart to Christ, and then he and I were able to baptize her. Well, you know this from your own kids. You don't forget people who make an eternal investment in your own children. So Dennis, America's minister of encouragement, we're thrilled you're here. Thank you, my friend. Love you.
I tell you, old Mike, he's pretty dadgum smooth, isn't he? And he's he's good. And he had a good mentor over there at Second Baptist. Joe Angel was our business administrator, and his daughter's here tonight, granddaughter and son-in-law. He loved you, Jim, through Jesus. But anyhow, but Joe Angel he was awesome, wasn't he? And today at lunch we had Joe Angel stories. And this is one of my favorite lines from Joe Angel when we'd have staff meeting. Get all the liars in the same room. And so that pretty well sums it up. Okay. Man, I'm glad that y'all came back. Benji, where'd Benji go? Where are you? You're over there with Connie, got your arm around her. Calm down, good night. Can't you wait till you get to the villages to put your arm around her? You control yourself, son. Music people, you gotta watch them. Benji, I told him this morning that you would be willing, that you would take a bullet for me, and I told him I'd take one in the shoulder for you. And that's pretty much the gospel truth. We've known each other for 50 years. First time I heard Benji, get ready. I want you to come up here and play when they ring those golden bells. So come on up here and get on the piano while I'm talking, so we can save some time. And because you know how some of these people are here. They're going, when are we going to get out of here? Are we going to get out at 7? Sun goes down pretty soon. No, it ain't going down till about 8:30. Well, I need to water my plants. Okay. What were you doing this afternoon? Oh, we were resting in the Lord. All right, well, okay. But I met Benji. We were at the Baptist Student Union. And I was a Methodist, but I went to the Baptist Student Union, the BSU, you know, to meet some girls. I wasn't really there for the Lord. I mean, I knew the Lord, but he understood. And so I'm there, and Benji got up that night, and he was played the piano. He was a freshman, and they had him play When They Ring Those Golden Bells. And when I'd never heard anybody play the piano like that. I mean, I'm just telling you, my sister took piano, but I mean, I can remember when they practiced. Here we go up a road to a birthday party. I mean, you know, y'all remember that great hit? I learned that with my right hand. Then they wanted me to use my left hand. I said, I ain't doing this. So I quit. I just, you know, I wasn't going to do it. But so I hadn't been around that many musicians. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it was. My dad, this isn't right, but Floyd Leon, if I acted up, he'd say, if you don't straighten up, I'm going to make you take piano. That's what you don't do something like that. I wish I'd have learned piano. But when I heard the bench, I went, wow. And it wasn't long after that, I mean, we were in the cafeteria. Then the next week, somehow I got up there and I did my thing with some voices. And he was out there and he heard me. Week 2. Week 3, we're at the cafeteria sitting across from each other. I said, you the guy that played the piano? He said, yeah. You the guy that did the voices? Yeah. And we just hit it off. He's from Winfield, Louisiana. Winfield, Louisiana. Benji Hart. I'm from old Texas boy. But that was the first song I ever heard Benji play. And I asked the Lord to let me die first so that he can play at my funeral. You know, and we've already talked, you know, honorarium. He just doesn't need to worry about it. He ain't going to get one. You know, his mama never paid for a cassette tape I ever did. Ruth went to be with Jesus, and she'd always come to everything I was at nearby, and she'd just take one of each. She goes, I ain't paying for these. I went, you never have, Ruth. You never have. But, so, anyhow, at my funeral, he's going to play this thing. Now, he'll get teared up, and probably tears, you know, on the keys, but you can still play on slippery surfaces. There'll be a music person out there in the crowd going, he is ruining the piano. You know how people are, music people. We love you. We love you. We need you for that cantata. Or what Joe would call a dog and pony show. But anyhow, we won't go there. So I just want you to hear what he's going to play at my funeral. Enjoy. When was the last time you heard When They Ring Those Golden Bells? Too long. Listen to it, then he'll go sit down with Connie and hug on her, and then I'll get started. Play it, Benj. Dr. Benji Harlan. Love you, buddy. Going back and be with Connie. I remember when they met. Lord have mercy. She's over there in Shreveport. West Monroe people, where I went after Hot Springs to West Monroe, they would say Shreveport. Put an extra S in there. Brother Dennis, you been to Shreveport? They have a Walmart over there. Walmart. I said, it's Walmart. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. It's a Walmart. It's a big store in Shreveport. You know, finally you just quit and say, you know, I'll do their funeral for free. Love you, Benj. Thank you, Connie, for being here tonight. Oh, Mike and Debbie and everybody, just it's so good to see folks and familiar faces, and you know, some that I was back at when I was at Hot Springs way back, Second Baptist, and some of y'all have gotten older looking. Bernice down here, you looking good, Bernice. Got that walker. She was my secretary. She's my secretary over there, and we got a lot of material. We could write a book. It might be rated R, but well, I love Bernice and her husband Ira. I miss him. What a good man. He was a good man. You know what? And just great to be back. But I want to bring you some laughter and some joy, a little bit of laughter. And I've been hard on the music people and everything. Y'all did a good job, Debbie and everybody down here. Lee, that's your sugar babe? I hope so. You got your arm around her. I went right here in the Church of God. Okay, that's good. Y'all are together. I didn't know. Pastor's gone. Whoa! Something he'll have to deal with when he gets back. But I love to pick on music people because I love you. You know I love you. And just for instance, like Christmas cantatas and all them musical things, Lord help us. Lord help us. I mean, those things, some of them, when I went to First Baptist Church, West Monroe, Louisiana, we started doing the living Christmas tree. Have you ever been to a living Christmas tree? Raise your hand. When my daddy, Floyd Leon, was there, you know what his first words to me afterwards? I wonder what y'all's light bill is. I said, Dad, did you enjoy the living Christmas? It was really something, but I'm wondering what your light bill is. I said, Dad, don't worry about the light bill. No, we're all here having a good time tonight. We've had a good time. No one's worrying about the light bill. Somebody's worrying about the light bill, I'll tell you that, you know. And, but, you know, I just, you know, y'all, they go all out. They go all out. And they're organized and volunteers, and they do stuff. And I remember when we were going to have, you know, all the kind of music. You have to have a little bit of kind of music for everybody, you know, because you want everybody to come. You involve the children. And that's a job. You have to have a room out yonder where they're in there tearing it up, you know. And then you run them in here and do their song, but the mom and dad are here, grandma and grandpa here. And so, you know, you got everybody going. You got this song, that song, a Bill and Gloria Gaither song. You got this Christmas song, this special and all. But you always have to have a little high church, at least one high church number in there, because there are some high church people in your church, music people. Lee, did you know that? And they got money too. We want their tithe. You got to include one number for the high church people to, you know, so they'll fork it over. And so we had this one lady that we'd always have, and to do the high church number. Well, this one year, you ain't gonna believe this. I don't know if y'all done this yet, Lee, but we had a Zipline. We have it all. I mean, it's, you know, the music starts and the lights start below the church, boom, 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 choreographed. Going up the tree. And then all of a sudden, ooh, ooh, boom, 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 and everybody's going, and then all of a sudden they have troops up there. They got choir people at the top. In the back. You're going, goodness, someone behind. I mean, they're up in the choir. They're up in the backward. And then all of a sudden, a trumpet. And everybody's, you know, working together, composition, orchestration, You know, and it's a lot to it. And the music guy, old Benji, I've seen him do, he'll flip the page, even if he knows what it is, but he'll do it because it looks good. And flip that page. And I think they're ad-libbing it myself. You know, especially the drummers. Boom, 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 boom. You can't tell me they memorized that thing, you know. And all of a sudden, here she comes, zip lining right over baby Jesus. I'm sitting over here to the side. You know, and my thought is becoming more like what Joe Angel's thought was. How much is this zip line costing me? She zipped on out there. She's got this angelic outfit on. She got wings and it's beautiful. I'm not belittling it. It was beautiful. And we had a little shiny ball up there that there was a light shining on it, which made little sprinkle lights like you felt like you was at that casino. You say, how would I know? Well, I've been there for a conference. And she's in that outfit. Are you with me, Bob? I mean, she wasn't wearing a fishing shirt like you're wearing tonight. She's got wings and everything. She's out there, and she comes out there right over baby Jesus. Now, this baby Jesus, it wasn't just little old baby Jesus. It was not real, but I don't know where they got it, but the hands were like mechanical. The hands and the legs. And you can't see the whole baby, but you see the hands and the legs. And I'm sitting there going, how much did that thing cost? You know, why not put a real baby in there and just let him, you know, squall around a little bit? Good night, take him, change him later, and he'll be fine. But oh no, it's mechanical. It just, and she's right over Jesus. And I shouldn't have thought this, but I can't help the way I think. I'm just telling you how some of us think during these things. Some of you music people are just, you know, my heart is full. My heart is full. I'm thinking, will that harness hold that woman? On that zip line, she was a big woman. I mean, she was mature. She wasn't that. She's sort of thick. You know what I mean? Just thick. She was, and she was hovering over Jesus, and I'm going, oh, I hope that clamp holds. I mean, that could be a lawsuit, buddy. That's a lawsuit. And all of a sudden, she's over there, and all of a sudden, she starts doing this high church number. Are you ready? Oh, Jesus, Jesus, oh, yes, yes, oh, yes. And people are just, I guess I lived in Louisiana too long. I guess I hung out with Benji and his mama Ruth and Daddy Willard too much. You know, I just don't think it was that way. I don't think the angel was just, oh, Jesus, Jesus. I mean, I think that angel was more like, who that? Who that? That be Jesus. Who that? Who that? That be Jesus. That be Jesus. Oh, that felt good to get that out. Go ahead, the hand clap started over here. Thank you. I love music and I love the choir and I'm for all those things. So just sort of back off, you know, and, you know, be nice, buy a book. Okay, throw in a CD with it out there. I love real people. Don't you love real people? I mean real people. Genuine, authentic. They're just the best. Floyd Leon, Pauline Bernadine, all-time greats. My family, I love them. I talk about my dad all the time. Was it you, Bob, or somebody else? I think Bob came up and said, please do this. Man, I remember it was a big deal to go out and eat. Some of you older people remember what a big deal it was to go out to eat, maybe on a Friday, Saturday night. You're going to splurge. And my dad said, we're going to go out to eat. Huh? Mama ain't going to heat this kitchen up. I've said that before with Laurie, but not that a microwave can heat it up. But where are you, baby? Oh, there she's in the back row. Yeah, microwave. You know, we have 2 ovens in our kitchen. We have an oven and another one below. And when we moved in, the guy said, checked everything out. The top one is 2 degrees off the one below. I said, buddy, it don't make a difference. Would you just make sure the microwave is working? I love you, baby. You've done good during the COVID. But my dad, to go out to a White's cafeteria. Laura and I drove around this afternoon. We just drove around for an hour just looking at everything and trying to remember things. And remember down there at the mall, I think it's a White's at the mall we'd go to. And that was a big deal. Go after church with God's people down there and hope a layman would pick up the tab. The most beautiful thing you could hear is a layman behind you going, I got it, Brother Dennis. I got all y'all. You know. May I say this about preachers? Y'all may not know this about preachers, and your pastor's not here, so I don't have to, he won't be nervous and everything. I'll tell you what we love. You know what we love? Cash. Cash. Just when he comes back, shake his hand, have a 20 in there, have 100 in there. Just during the welcome time, he will light up. He'll give you a frontal if he's had his shots or not, I promise. I know he's been here 30 years, but you're liable to see a new man. You know what I mean? But my dad, when we're going through the line, this is what my daddy would say, Floyd Leon. He'd go, everybody get your hardware. Everybody get your hardware. Everybody got your hardware. My dad was loud. My dad ran printing presses for 45 years. Wore gray Dickie shirt, gray Dickie pants. Big black shoes with big sole because he's on his feet all day. Everybody get your hardware. People in the back of the cafeteria are holding up their hardware. They thought he was talking to them. I mean, you're embarrassed, but what can you do? And then his next famous phrase was this, everybody drink water. I ain't paying for tea. That is ridiculous how much they charge for tea. One time, 3 people brought their tea back. They brought their tea back. I love my daddy. Old Floyd Leon, he's something else. Even in his latter days when he had Alzheimer's, we'd get tickled. I took him to the mall down in Austin. I said, Mama, you go shopping. Go find you some Alfred Dunner outfits. Get you some Alfred Dunner. Daddy can come with me. I got him. He became real dependent on Mama. I said, I got him, Mama. I got him. He can come with me. Mama, you're going to have an hour, 15 minutes to yourself. You just go and, get Alfred Dunner off the rack. You know how you do. Hold it up against you. And you go have some fun. And then she said, well, Daddy, you stay with Dennis. All right. All right. I said, go on, Mama. Daddy. Mama. Daddy. You stay with Dennis. All right. Go on, Mama. Finally, she went. I looked at my daddy. We were sitting there in the food court. I said, Dad, you want a cup of coffee? My dad loved coffee. He always loved coffee. I said, you want a cup of coffee, Dad? You know what he said? You want to split one? Dad, we ain't splitting a cup of coffee. He said, I'm not that thirsty. I just need about a half a cup. I went, we're not splitting a cup of coffee. I'm going to buy you a cup and I'm going to buy me a cup. And you know what he said then? That's why we have something and you don't. Y'all know who I'm talking about? Some of you, it's your man sitting right next to you right now. Love my daddy. Love my mama, Pauline Bernadine. Some of y'all heard me tell this story. They're just real people. I remember, when my daddy died, I said, Mama, what was Daddy like when y'all dated? She said, I would have never asked my mother and father something like that. I said, well, I'm a different generation, Mom. I know my dad's a good man. My dad was in the 36th Infantry Division, O.T. Apache, Texas. My dad was a fast-pitch softball player, windmill style. They called him the hurler. He was good. Watch these girls on TV, these softball girls, fast pitch. My daddy was fast pitch. Good man. My dad was in charge of the tee on Wednesday night supper at church at Hyde Park Baptist Church, Austin, Texas, and that is huge. You just don't move into that spot. You work your way up. I love my daddy. Good man. I said, Mom, I know he's a good man, but what was he like when y'all dated? They'd been married 63 years when he went to be with Jesus. And I said, I know he's a good man, Mom, but what was he like when y'all dated? I just want to know. She said, well, your daddy was very aggressive. I said, Deacon Floyd? Well, he wasn't always a deacon, I'll tell you that. Mother, did he kiss you on the first date right on the mouth? Took my breath away. I asked him where he learned to kiss like that. He said siphoning gas at Fort Hood. Jim Hale's daughter back there. Honey, look at your mom and daddy right now. They're both having a flashback right now. He came back from Vietnam and it was all over, baby. Oh, gosh. I love real people. I do. I just, my mom, she's real. I tell you what, during the COVID, she got, what do you do when you're locked up in an independent living center 24/7? They bring you your food and everything. Well, she got on that QVC. She felt bad about it. She called me. She said, I need to tell you something. I've ordered some things off the QVC. I said, well, Mom, you got your money. That's fine to do that. Well, I don't know if they'll take it back. They'll take it back. I promise whatever you bought, they'll take back. I don't think they'll take it back. They will take it back, Mother. Believe me. What'd you buy? Spanx. I said, like that girdle that goes around your tummy? Well, my tummy's so big. I said, Mama, you're 92. We don't care how big your tummy is. And she said, I do. You're in COVID. There ain't nobody even seeing you. Well, I see myself. And I bought that Spanx. I said, well, if you don't like it, send it back. Praise the Lord. You don't need to be putting that around your body and pushing on a blood vessel or something at your age. Good night. She said, well, I just hope they'll take it back. Well, I don't think so. Why not? Well, I couldn't get it off. The top rolled down and the bottom rolled up. And I couldn't get it off. Let it out, honey. Let it out. Don't be... I said, well, what'd you do? She said, I called Sheila at the front desk, and she came up and helped me get that off. Well, just send it back. I don't think they'll take it back. I said, well, why won't they? We had to use the scissors. Don't you love real people? I just love real people. I wrote down some little notes here. And I don't know how long y'all have to, what you got to do around Hot Springs, but there's no races going on, are there, tonight? So poor old Mike's down here. Don't go there. Just don't go there. I love real people. Why I like so many of the old movie stars, Hey, but before I do the old movie stars, Lee, remind me to go back to the old movie stars. But I got to do something. There's some young people in here. Praise the Lord, y'all came. Some of you youngins, where are you? There's some. Okay, there's two back in the back. Is that the Boglers back there, or that was the Bogler? Yeah, got 5 kids. It's a quiver. Grow that Sunday school or the connecting groups. Way to go with the connecting groups. Hey, for the kids, real quick, I'm going to do this one for you. Old Dusty. When we were at Second Baptist, Dusty was what? I mean, he's a little bitty thing. And then when we went to First Baptist West Monroe, he was what, 5 or 6 or something like that. And then Chad was 9. And I remember I'd slip off and go speak and entertain. I'd try to slip off and get back before somebody dies. You know. And every church I was at, that was always a deal. Well, he's gone a lot. He goes a lot and gets paid. He gets paid. Well, duh, you know. And so I'd sneak off, and then I'd try to get back in time and everything. And so one time when I came flying into Monroe, Louisiana, birthplace of Delta Airlines, I'm coming down the little ramp. This is before 9/11. I'm coming down the ramp. There's Laurie, Chad, and Dusty. They're waiting for me. I come down, and they're going, Daddy. And we hug, and we go out to eat, and then we go home to go to bed. And when I said, y'all going to bed now, boys? Yeah. Oh. Some of you guys remember when you were little. Yeah, go. Y'all go on to bed right now. So I want to put them to bed because I've been on the road 2 or 3 days. I've missed my sugar babe, my honey love. I'm tired and weary. You with me, buddy? You with me? Just say amen. Look at her. You know, she's not looking at you right now. You can talk to me. Okay. You know, I know what she's doing. She's going, he better behave himself. Just look straight ahead. So I go and I lock up the house and I adjust the air conditioning because you ladies, I love you, but sometimes you just twist it and, you know, you got to. And so I got all that done. So I go to my bedroom to be with my woman. I walk in there. Who's in my bed? Both my boys. They're in bed with my woman. I went, yeah, oh. Y'all got a bedroom. Go in your bedroom right now. Time to go to bed. Daddy, we've been sleeping with Mama the whole time you've been gone. And we're going to sleep like this the rest of our lives. All 4 of us are going to sleep together. You and me and Dusty and Mama are going to sleep together the rest of our lives. I went, yeah, oh. You got a bedroom, go in there. I don't want to be in that bedroom all by myself. God is in there. You go sleep with God. Chad, he's pretty smart. He said, I need somebody with skin on, Daddy. I went, oh, my gosh. You know what my wife said? They're not hurting anything. They're not hurting anything. I'm going, what do you mean? So several days later, man, you got to get the boys to yourself, you know, away from your wife so you can really tell them the way it is. She wasn't around. And I squatted down. I said, I'm going to tell you something, boys. When I'm going to be gone now, I'm going to be gone again for a couple of days, but I'll tell you what, if you'll sleep in your bed while I'm gone, if you'll sleep in your bed the night I get home, I'll give you a Hulk Hogan wrestling buddy. They went, Hulk Hogan wrestling buddy. Hulk, remember those? Hulk Hogan wrestling buddy. Shake on it if you're a man. We shook on it. A couple of days later, I flew on out, and a couple of days later, I come back. I'm coming down the ramp. There's Laurie. There's Chad and Dusty. They're just thrilled. I'm coming down the ramp. There's other people in the airport. It's still a big thing to fly in Monroe. Some of them are seeing me coming down. We were on like 2 or 3 TV channels, so I had a little notoriety. And some are loud like my dad. They think they're whispering, but I can hear them coming down there. One of them's going, that's their pastor. They say he's gone a lot. I'm coming down that ramp, and there's little Dusty. He goes, Daddy! Gives me a thumbs up. I give him a thumbs up. Daddy! Gives me a thumbs up. I give him a thumbs up. And then in front of God and everybody, he said, Daddy! Nobody slept with Mama the whole time you were gone. I'm just... That is hard to overcome. Wasn't long after that I decided to do what I'm doing now. Free at last, free at last. Thank God I'm free at last. Don't you love real people? I remember when Dusty was little, you know, like that, and I'd call home. I told him, don't you answer the phone because we'll never get the message. But inevitably, I'd call home, and who answers the phone? Hello. I went, Dustin, what are you doing answering the phone? I'm the man of the house, Daddy. You are gone, and I'm the man. I said, well, let me talk to your mama. She cannot come to the phone. She's a busy woman. I said, well, I'm a busy man, son. Don't mess with me. Let me talk to your mama right now. Here is determined by context. Here. Take the trash out. Here. Hug your mama. Here. Open the gate to deer camp. Here. Here. Go get your mama. She cannot come to the phone. I said, well, what is your busy mama doing? He said, there's a policeman here, Daddy. I said, what's he doing? Let me talk to him. He cannot come to the phone. He's a busy man. What's he doing? There's a fireman here, Daddy. A fireman. Let me talk to him. He cannot come to the phone. He's a busy man. I said, now, Dustin, I want you to focus. I want you to calm down. I want you to focus right now. I want you to tell me, what are they doing? He said, they're looking for me. I said, where are you, son? I'm in the hot water closet. They looked in here 2 times. I'm directly behind the hot water heater. I said, well, you are in hot water, son. And you know what he said? No, I'm directly behind the hot water. I needed a Ritalin right then myself. I love real people. But back to the movie stars. Jimmy Stewart was one of my all-time favorite. And I can't always do him all that much because, you know, I look out at my audience and they're younger and everything. Some of y'all younger over there. Look right back there. I see y'all, that whole row right there. Listen, let me tell you something. If you'll watch It's a Wonderful, Wonderful Life at Christmas time with your grandma and grandpa, you will inherit a lot of money. Oh, mom and dad there, they ain't got nothing. Mama, Papa, Mimi, Pops, Poops, Pops, Big Mama, Gaga, Gigi. They have everything. Jimmy Stewart. I'll watch that Christmas movie every year. I do. And I love It's a Wonderful, Wonderful Life. I like the black and white version. And every single time it gets to me. I say I'm not going to cry, but then I cry. But don't watch it 3 times in 1 week. Psychologically, it does a reversal. I remember one year I was in my 3rd viewing of it in 1 week. And remember when he's at the bridge? And I don't know what came over me. I just went, jump! Just jump! And that, you know, that's not the spirit of Christmas. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you a little funny. Can you handle a little funny? It's sort of rated M for mature, but, you know, we don't have a pulpit right here, so. I don't know if you ever heard the story of the 2 brooms in a broom closet. Had you ever heard that story, Bernie? Well, there was a male broom and a female broom, and they'd been in the closet a long, long time, Jerry, a long time. And one evening in the broom closet, the male groom said to the female broom, how about I'll be the groom broom and you can be the bride broom. And so the bride broom said, okay. Well, that went on and on for months and months. And then one night, the bride broom said to the groom broom, I'm gonna have a whisk broom. And the groom broom said to the bride broom, well, now how can that be? We never even swept together. I don't know why. I just put it down on my list tonight, okay? I thought it was pretty funny myself. All right. But Jimmy Stewart, you know, Jimmy Stewart was Jimmy Stewart in every single movie, wasn't he? He was. And John Wayne was John Wayne in every single movie. You hear me? Even in the movie The Quiet Man, when he's supposed to be Irish, everybody in the movie had an Irish accent except the Duke. They just told him to talk slower, but he was still the Duke. You know, those were some great old stars. You know, Don Knotts was Don Knotts. He was Barney Fife in every movie and every TV show. I mean, you know, he was just, you know, oh, I remember Ernest T. Bass. Charlene, I love you, Charlene. And old Barney, whoa, he's a nut, you know. I mean, what a show. I watched it all the time during COVID. Others I'd watch. Some of y'all remember this as an old joke, but Slim Pickens. Have you ever in your life been to Oklahoma? Don't go. You can't pronounce the names of those towns: Okamoga, Sapofa, Sally Saw, Eufaula, Coweta. I pulled into a little store. I couldn't pronounce the name of the town. I said, tell me where I am. Real slow. They looked at me kind of funny and said, Dairy Queen. Those college guys, they never heard that joke. I did that one for them right there. Loved Howard Cosell, no doubt about it, but what about Lenny Dawson? Back to pass, throws the bomb to Tess Taylor. And he and Muhammad, what about Smoking Joe Frazier? I'm tired of Joe Frazier. I want him. I'm going to whoop him. He's ugly. Look at my face. I have a beautiful face. I mean, oh, I'd watch all that, you know, television. Billy Graham. I'd watch Billy Graham over and over and over. I'm going to be doing the banquet here. Now, is it a month, Laurie, or 2 months for the Billy Graham Museum in Charlotte, North Carolina? And I might have said this to one of the services, but, you know, I never do. My sermons are never exactly the same, so I'm sorry, I just can't do it. But I might have told this morning, but I can't remember if I did. But I'm going to be doing their banquet for 300 volunteers. And you know they'll want me to do Billy Graham. You know what I mean? And so I will do Billy Graham for them. I remember one time I was doing a thing for Dr. Graham. He was sitting like right over here. And while I was doing Billy, I watched Billy Graham. While I'm doing Billy Graham, I watched him out of the corner of my eye. And I sensed in my spirit he was speaking to the Lord. And he said to God, will Swanberg go to heaven? I want to know, will he be there forever and ever? Aeonion in the Greek, forever and ever. And then I sensed the Lord telling Billy, yes, Swanee will be in heaven. Then I sensed Billy say to God, why, Lord, why? And then I sensed God telling Billy, Swan will be in heaven because he's never reached the age of accountability. So I've got a little loophole right there. Oh gosh, that's funny. I love real people. My family, we're real. My little wife, we're real. During the COVID, we've learned, you know, got to try to lighten up a little bit. And little things you laugh at sometimes, just the normal thing. And, you know, even things that irritate you, you try to find a little laughter You know, when we go to bed at night, you know, we've been married 42 years, and we have a king-size bed. It's a split king. Y'all know what I'm talking about? It's king, but it's a split down the middle. That way I have my mattress box spring. She has her mattress box spring. That way if I move and maneuver, I don't always wake her up. Be thoughtful of your partner. It's a split. Jim, y'all have a split king bridge? You know you can afford it. Go buy one. Good night. Your daughter, she knows, I mean, she'll take a little hit for the inheritance, but go buy one. And pick up a walk-in bathtub while you're at it. It's awesome. And I do take my pills. And you know what, honey? I do this. This happens too often. I forgot to take my restless leg pill. I'm going to take it because we're in the hotel together. Hold on a minute. I got a lot of pills. I have a pill for restless leg. I take a pill at night so I won't have a going problem tomorrow. I take a... Can I give my testimony? I take a pill. I have a neck deal, a cyst on my neck in there. They're trying to watch it. I've had both knees replaced. I've had back surgery. I've had hernias. I take a thyroid pill every morning, a thyroid. Now don't come to my table and ask me how many grams are in my thyroid pill. Let me tell you something. I don't drink. I just do drugs. But anyhow, I'll be in bed, and if I don't take my pill, which I should have took mine, I usually, pray, honey. But sometimes I'm like Elvis. I'm just. And my wife is quiet. She's a quiet little woman. She's a quiet woman, isn't she? All over, you know her. She's quiet, not real outspoken. But when you've been married 42 years, you know what she says when that happens? She goes, "Your knee is jerking!" I'm startled because I got my CPAP machine on, and I just... I wear a CPAP. And you wear it for deep sleep. You need it for deep sleep. And I was in deep sleep. I'm just hearing someone, "You're leaking!" I didn't know where I was or what was going on. And she's hollering at me. And, you know, sometimes it leaks. My mask leaks. And you can't help it because once again, I'm in deep sleep. I'm just, you know, Are y'all quit pointing at each other? See, some of y'all right now, some of you wear a CPAP machine, but you don't want anybody to know. Let me tell you, when we had the early service this morning at 9 o'clock, I saw several of you with the lines in your face. You know, don't quit trying to hide it. Just come on and be bold. Buddy, one day, look at you. One day, buddy, look at, hey, Mr. Masters golf shirt there. Yeah. Hey, one day you'll be putting that baby on. You'll think you're Darth Vader. Look, right now she's going, "No, he's going to stay in shape and be a flat belly." Honey, I can already tell it's coming. It's coming on. One day you'll be wearing an Untuck It shirt, buddy. When I put mine on, I just do Bill Clinton and go, "Inhale." But okay, that was tacky. That was tacky. But it leaks sometimes. Just shh. And then she'll holler, "You're leaking!" I was a bedwetter till I was in the 6th grade. I thought I'd had an accident. And then she said, your mask. Going, you know, pull it tighter. Now, see, the split king on the other side, it helps her, see, because you know, she's younger than me, but she's sort of about to come out of this, but not totally yet. I don't know how to say this, but our air conditioning is on 67, 365 days a year. We have a ceiling fan. We have an oscillating fan on the floor, an oscillating. Oscillate. Ma'am, I saw you tap her on the arm there. There may be a little snow on the rooftop, but there's a fire in the furnace, I can tell. But, so, and then she has a fan by the lamp, blows directly on her. Are you with me, Debbie? Are you paying attention to me, Debbie? I don't know if you have a fan or not, but she has a fan, blows right on her, and then it comes over on me. Well, I'm freezing. I'm freezing. I'm holding my mask because I don't like to be hollered at, so I'm... I was so cold the other night. I saw crystallization on my mask. I thought, she's killing me. She's trying to kill me. And if I die, you know what she'll do? The next day, she'll call the funeral director and say, he's dead. But no rush to come over here. He'll keep 3 days. And I might have said this morning when I was talking about my dad, but man, when I go to that truck stop and wash my hands and put them underneath the blower, my skin looks like the tide going in and out on Gulf Shores, Alabama. You know, Laurie, she wants me to get my eyes done. She said, you're a speaker, you're an entertainer, you need to clip that skin over on your eye. You know, I got all this skin. Hey, Masters, are you watching? Hey, look, this is coming one day. All this right here. In the morning, I had to just, I had a problem. Are you a church member or are you a visitor? Huh? Visitor? Well, we ran that one off, didn't we? I'm sorry, brother. I'll give you a free CD when you leave. She wants me to clip all that off. Good night. Well, I ain't doing it. Because I'm afraid if I did it, when I come back next time y'all have me back, I'll come walk, I'd be walking in here going, hey, what's going on? There'll be some old boy in the back going, is that Kenny Rogers? Oh, we're so sensitive. I am too. When I look in the mirror, when I'm at the hotel and I look in that mirror, do you know what I think? When I look in the mirror, thank God for clothes. Oh, isn't that awesome? I just love clothes. I love real people more. Aren't you glad that Jesus is real? See, what time is it? 7:11? Okay. 7 come 11. I was raised a Methodist. No, I'm just messing with you. Well, no, not either. But anyhow, I'm glad Jesus is real. If he's not real, it's all over. We ought to do like, in Ecclesiastes, let's eat and drink because tomorrow we die. But he is real. And because he is real, I just don't want to eat and drink and party, or because he's real. His way is, you'll never be more free than the captor you choose. And when you choose him, you are free indeed when he's your captor. Freer than you've ever been before, And I thank God he's real. And you know what? He loved real people. Now, some of you are going now, is he about to get into the Bible? Yes. Well, what all this was right now is a long introduction. If I'd have preached this way at the seminary, I would have made an F. If I'd have preached this way at the seminary, I'd made an F. But I made a lot of money doing it this way, Bernice. So I go with the money. I just go with the money. But he loved real people. And in John 11 and 12, I got my Bible right here just in case, because I know how some of them are. Bernie, you remember when I pastored and everything? He doesn't even have a Bible up there. Right here. John 11 and 12. Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. Don't you love them? Real people. Like you and me. I love Mary, Martha, and Lazarus because they're so real. They're like you and me. Just real people. They lived in Bethany. And Jesus loved to go to their home because he could let his hair down. He could eat Bluebell ice cream right out of the tub like Benji Harlan does on ours, and then nobody in our family will eat it after he's stuck his spoon in there, and he gets to eat all the ice cream at our house. When we were at seminary there, and he's lived one house over, he'd come over and eat our Bluebell. It made my boys so mad. They said, Dad, Benji comes over here and just eats our Bluebell right out of the tub. I said, let me tell you something, buddy, about my buddy Benji Harlan. Benji Harlan can have anything in this house except your mama. I hope you have a buddy like that one day. Well, it ain't fair, man. He's ruining the Bluebell. Well, just get over it. You go buy some. It ain't fair. Benji comes back the next day. Where's my spoon? Just dig in there. Jesus loved being at their place. Martha could cook for 100 easier than she could cook for 2. Y'all know some people like that. You know who they are here. Some of you men, you can have a grill. You got on my book back there, Breakfast Bible and Bull, Jim. You need to get a copy of it. Beverly, buy it for him. Our daughter. What's your name, honey? Jenny. Jenny. I love Jenny. You buy it for your daddy. Did you buy it already for him? Well, Father's Day is coming around the corner. Don't want to put any pressure on you, but my first chapter in there is about grills, and everybody's got all these different kind of pits and fire pits and grills and this and that and how you barbecue and all that kind of stuff. It's good, and there's some men that can cook for 100, 200, 300. They bring their rig up, and they're amazing. I just love people like that. Martha could handle it. Now, they were concerned. Their brother was sick, and they wanted Jesus to come and heal him because they knew that Jesus loved Lazarus. I think Lazarus may have been Jesus' best friend. That's what I think. We don't have one word from Lazarus. Couldn't get a word in edgewise between his sisters and stuff, but they loved him. And they all knew Jesus loved him. Matter of fact, you read in John 11 and 12, the writer, John the Beloved, basically said that Jesus loved Lazarus. The sisters knew that Jesus loved Lazarus. The Pharisees and the scribes, they knew that Jesus loved Lazarus. Everyone knew that Jesus loved Lazarus. Let me tell you something. I got to tell myself, people know who you love. Your kids know how much y'all love each other. They watch you. They watch you. I remember one time when I drove down to Austin just to surprise my mom and dad. I never rang a doorbell. I just opened the front door. I just went in the house, and they were over by the kitchen. Mama was at the sink washing, and my dad was right beside her. And I looked at them, and they didn't even hear me come in. And my dad had grabbed her. Being we're in church, I'll just say hip. He grabbed her by the hip. He was squeezing her hip. And I went, hey, what's going on? My dad said, ain't nothing going on in here. Good night. I said, man, I can't believe you do this right in front of me. He said, you should have rang the doorbell. I remember when I was a teenager and they'd get in the recliner together and they'd make out in the recliner. My sisters and I, we had to go outside because it was gross. It was gross. You know what he said? It ain't gross to us. When they slept for 63 years, this is how they slept. My dad, 6'2", 220, slept on his right side. Mama slept on her right side, 5 foot tall. She backed her back up against his chest. He took his left leg, put his left leg over, and his left arm over, and he called that her parking spot. That's how they slept for 63 years. Laurie and I hope this isn't too much information, but We got that split king. I got my CPAP machine on. And I sort of put my right foot over, and she puts her left foot over, and we just sort of rub our feet a little, and then it's sort of like, don't touch me. We could never do that like that. But I know one thing, my mom and dad loved each other. You know, after he died, she always told us that she would love to sleep on her back, but she said, I can't do that because Daddy can't sleep unless I'm in my parking spot. And we'd say, Mama, sleep on your back. I can't, Daddy cannot sleep unless I'm in my parking spot. I remember after he died, maybe a year or so after he died, I said, Mama, you sleeping on your back? She said, I am, and I love it. I love it. And then she said, but I miss my parking spot. Oh. People know who you love. And they all knew he loved Lazarus. But they knew he loved Martha and Mary. It said he loved Martha and Mary and Lazarus. And he put it in that order because he knew which side his bread was buttered on with Martha. You got to have a Martha. You don't have a Martha in your church, you're in trouble. And they sent for Jesus to come, and you know the story. He was 4 days late. Lazarus was dead. You know the story. And Martha, you know, her personality is very, very real. She was put out with Jesus. Remember what she said when he got there? Well, hope your mission trip went well. My brother and your best friend's dead as a door now. Welcome home. He's been dead 4 days and he stinketh. Go back and read John 11. Put it in the cantata. And then there's Mary, sweet little Mary. She's a great greeter at her church. Welcome. Welcome to First Baptist Church. Welcome. Welcome. Some new family walks in. Where do we go for Bible study? Or where do we go for our connecting groups? And she goes, I don't know. I don't go. I'm a greeter. She ain't been to Bible study in 22 years. But don't you love her? She's a sweetheart. And then we got Lazarus. No word from Lazarus. You know, it said Jesus wept. I think he wept because that was his buddy. Have you ever lost a buddy? You know, if a man loses a buddy, it's devastating to a man to lose a buddy. You know, he may not cry at the funeral, but when he gets in the truck and he's driving away by himself, he may bawl like a baby. If you ever lose a buddy that's got your back, you know, you just, ooh. Wasn't D-Day today? Is it tomorrow? Today? Can you imagine how many buddies were lost on that day for you and me? And men have to live with that the rest of their life. And the biggest thing they live with is, why am I still alive? And why didn't I die with them? You know, wow. Well, maybe they showed you how to die so that you could live and tell the story. Keep telling the story. Well, I want to make a beeline we're about to go to Jerusalem. Jesus is on his way to die for you and me. And as he's going to Jerusalem, he decides to go by and see Mary, Martha, and Lazarus again. He wanted to be with his best friends one more time. That's what I think. He wanted to be with his best friends. Do you have best friends? You need best friends. You know, we still have best friends from here in Hot Springs. We were only here 4 years, but they're best friends. And even our best friends, they were glad time to go. And sometimes best friends know when your time is up, you know. But we're still best friends, and they're here tonight. Best friends. So Jesus goes to see him. This time Martha's singing in the kitchen and Mary's pouring the flu all over him. And you know, there had to be somebody there going, good night, that perfume, a little goes a long way. Good night. She poured the whole thing out. Good night. Somebody else going, I could use a Benadryl. I could use a Benadryl right now. That perfume, I can't. I have told Mike I can't sit over there because that woman has that flu on, and I need to sit somewhere where she's not, because it gets to me. Poor old Mike, one day when he's in the casket, he'll probably be holding a thing of flu in his left hand. And then Lazarus, it said he was sitting at a table with Lazarus. That's all it says. I have a big imagination. John chapter 21 says if we had everything Jesus said or did, there wouldn't be enough books or volumes of books to contain it. So that gives me a little leeway with the scripture. I wouldn't be surprised that Jesus might have said to Lazarus, Lazarus, you know you're about my best buddy, and I love you. I love you, buddy. Pray for me. I'm on my way to Jerusalem. Pray that I'll drink of the cup. Pray that I'll do my Father's will. Pray for me, Lazarus. You're about my best friend. And old Lazarus might have been like my daddy, Floyd Leon. He wasn't a big I love you kind of guy. You know, he ain't going to say I love you. You know, my dad, that generation, you know, I'd say, Dad, you love me? Your mother's been looking forward to seeing you. Well, I know, Dad, but are you looking forward to seeing me? That's all she's been talking about is you coming down here. I said, Dad, just tell me you love me. You want to drive my El Camino when you get here? You know. You know. I imagine Lazarus might have gone, feelings mutual. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. You know, you raised me up in 4 days. I wouldn't be surprised if you're not raised up in 3. Work with me, people. Work with me. Some of y'all, I know what you're doing. I'm going to ask Brother John when he gets back if that's true. That's why he's having to take a break right now. Plumb worn out. I tell you what, the biggest question is this: am I a friend like that to somebody? I need to be a loyal Lazarus to a someone and a somebody. I need to have best friends, and I want to encourage you to have best friends. Don't shy away from best friends. Do stuff together. Keep going together. Keep doing stuff together. Go party together. Go out to eat together. Jim, didn't you bring your Sunday school class for a big bunch back there? And I think he's going to take y'all out to eat and pay for it. I mean, that's just the word I heard. I'm sorry, Jenny. There went another chunk of the money. Because you can't beat best friends. And I'm so glad that my Lord is my best friend. Benj, come back up here. I'm going to have you get ready to play something here in a minute. I'm going to repeat a little bit of a story that I told this morning. Just hang on. I know it's almost 7:30, but, you know, where are we going? And, you know, y'all paid me, and I want you to get your money's worth. You know, you didn't have to buy a ticket. You know, Dustin and Brittany, you know, giving us these beautiful grandkids. You know, Andrew, James, Floyd. You know, they put Floyd in there in honor of my dad. Who wasn't here this morning? Raise your hand. See, quite a few. They named my grandson Andrew James Floyd Swanberg. And when they told us, we were eating at a restaurant, and Laurie put her hand on my leg. Now, don't say nothing because, you know, to a millennial, because millennials are very sensitive. And you know, like they won't come to Thanksgiving or Christmas, you know. I want to go, they will be there because they want our money. But, you know, you don't say nothing. You go, great. But Floyd, I love my daddy. Floyd, but Floyd. And when he said Andrew James Floyd Swanberg, I thought, well, that fit on a birth certificate. And then we have little Maxine come along, and they name her Maxine. They said, we want a generational name, Maxine. Is there a Maxine here tonight? Maxine. There wasn't one this morning. Maxine. See what I'm talking about? What? Are you Maxine, honey? Where's Maxine? Do you be proud, honey? Laurie, are you sitting next to Maxine back there? You give her a free CD. And Maxine, if you don't have a CD player, you just use it as a coaster. Put your coffee on it. But we love Maxine. I love little Maxine. Oh my gosh. I call her Max. I'm maxed out on little Max, you know. But I remember their daddy, old Dustin. He was a little pistol. He got older, he was a little pistol. Matter of fact, in this book, No More Secrets, his story is in there. He is trying to find his way in life. His older brother, smart, brilliant, obsessive compulsive, perfectionist, a brain, accounting degree, MBA, blah, 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 you know. And old Dusty, he's like me, just trying to get an ACT score so you could be admitted into college. And so Dustin, you know, in his frustration, he went to the bottle. His older brother wrote this.